Hey there, my name is Megan and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the guilty reader tag. I am going to let you guys know if I am a guilty reader. I originally saw this video on a Dash of Ashes channel, but I think the original video has been privated, but I'll link all of that information down in the description box below so you can check it out for yourself. This tag consists of 10 questions, but before we go ahead and get on into the tag, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the little bell icon so you can be notified every time I post new bookish content. I post new videos every Wednesday and every Saturday and sometimes on Monday. Question number 1 is, have you ever regifted a book? And I don't think so. I have received ARCs before, especially when I've gone to like book fairs and things, and I have given those ARCs to my students if there's something that I'm completely not interested in, because usually, well, they're almost always YA, and a lot of them are YA contemporary, which I don't really read that often, so I have gifted those to my students. Question number 2 is, have you ever said that you've read a book when you actually didn't? And not that I can recall. I think the closest thing that comes to that is The Picture of Dorian Gray, because I actually did DNF this. I was almost done with it and I put it down and just never picked it back up, but I have it read on Goodreads, and I think I was talking about it with some people one day and I finally admitted that I had actually never finished The Picture of Dorian Gray. It is a book that I do want to read again and actually finish it, but I think that's like the closest that I've come to saying I read a book when I actually didn't. Question number 3 is, have you ever borrowed a book and not returned it? And yeah, I did once, and that was about like 12 years ago, and I still feel really, really, really bad about it. Question number 4 is, have you ever read a series out of order? And not really. I think the closest thing that comes to that would be the Lord of the Rings trilogy, because I read that before I read The Hobbit, and I know that you can do that. You don't necessarily have to read The Hobbit, but it does add a lot of like background information and context and stuff like that. But I read the Lord of the Rings trilogy and then I read The Hobbit. So I think that's the closest thing I come to that. I don't know how people read series out of order. Like, I would be so confused. Question number 5 is, have you ever spoiled a book for someone else? And I'm gonna include this because it was actually a movie I saw that was based off of a book, and it was the Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. I went and saw the movie, so I'm assuming it's just like the book, but I was actually with some friends and we were doing this like escape room thing, and some people were off like doing this thing and I was with another friend, and we were talking about movies, and that movie came up and I ended up saying how it ended and who was actually responsible for the murder. And she just like looked at me with this look, because I completely gave away the ending and I felt so bad. Question number 6 is, have you ever dog-eared a book? And I honestly don't know. I'm assuming if it's a book I didn't care too much about, probably, but I don't remember a specific time. Usually I don't dog-ear my books. Question number 7 is, have you ever told someone that you don't own a book when you do? And not that I can think of. I don't really know of a reason why I would ever need to tell somebody that. Question number 8, have you ever told someone that you haven't read a book when you have? And once again, I don't really understand the point of telling someone that, so no. Question number 9 is, have you ever skipped a chapter or section of a book? And yes, I have. So there's a couple different reasons I would do this. For example, I just read Post-Apocalyptic Paradise by Alasterius Black, and there was a torture scene in there that kind of bothered me, so I skipped over that. A lot of times if there's these prolonged battle scenes in epic fantasy, not even epic fantasy, any fantasy, and it's really not adding that too much to the story, and I find myself getting a little bit bored, I'll kind of skim through just the battle scenes until it gets to like more plot stuff. If there's anything that is extremely violent that's bothering me, if there's like these prolonged sex scenes that I don't want to read about, I'll skip over it. Or if there's just a part of excessive descriptions, for example, in The Hobbit, you know, J.R.R. Tolkien can describe landscapes for a decent number of pages, so I might skim or skipped over that. So yes, I have definitely done that. And question number 10 is, have you ever bad-mouthed a book that you've liked? I feel like when I'm bad-mouthing a book, I'm just discussing negatives. I'm not like completely trashing the book. For example, the First Law trilogy. Yeah, it has a very slow, minuscule plot that bothers the heck out of me, but the characters are amazing. The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. I bad-mouthed Jonah because I thought he was a jerk in the beginning of the book, but this was one of my favorite books of 2020. Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I gave this book 3 stars. I really did not like how much time she spent going into the backstories of all these characters and all of these, I don't know if they're flashbacks, but she just had to like explain the backstory of every single character, and I felt like it dragged the story on and on. But however, the characters are great, the heist is great, and all in all, this book was a blast. Alright, you guys, so that is it for the Guilty Reader book tag. I hope you learned a little bit more about my guilty reader habits. Let me know in the comments if you have done this tag or maybe some of the answers to these questions, or let me know if you're a guilty reader, and I will see you guys soon with another video. Goodbye!